Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Monday, January 6th. The Pittsburgh Steelers will have a divisional game is it just a coincidence that the Steelers and the Ravens, in the year that the HBO cameras are following the AFC North around, are going to play one another in the playoffs? Is that, should we be conspiracy theorists about that? The script writers, may have had this one in their minds for a while, as the Steelers will be the number 6 seed in the AFC. They will go on the road to play the Baltimore Ravens, the number 3 seed in the AFC. That game will be Saturday night in primetime. I will still not know what day of the week it is for another week. It is Monday, and Mike Tomlin will be talking on the South Side at noon today as the Steelers advance their usual weekly routine by one day, but they will, of course, be playing on full, normal, regular rest after playing on Saturday against the Bengals in Week 18. I'm not going to talk about necessarily Week 18 specifically here on the show today, but really the 2024 season in general, now that the entirety of the regular season is in the books. And I want to talk about the Steelers defense. I know a lot of people, especially based on what happened last week, are up in arms about the Steelers offense and Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin and, well, just about everything, basically. But the Steelers defense, I thought this year had a real chance to be a dominant unit. They had a very good defense last year. Last season, the Steelers gave up 324 points. That was 6th in the league last year. Okay. They dealt with a major injury to Cam Heyward, injuries to Minkah Fitzpatrick, and they were clear, and they had major injury problems at linebacker and at safety, where they were playing guys off their couch at the end of last year. Okay. The Steelers came into this year, and you said, boy, short up the linebacker position with Patrick Queen, short up safety with DeShon Elliott, got another corner in Donte Jackson, who's a big upgrade over the guys they had last year. If they can keep Minkah and TJ and Cam healthy and on the field, and maybe if Cam can recapture some of that, this defense should be an elite defense. On paper, this is an elite defense. And when you want to talk about coaching, to me, the first measure of coaching is, does the talent add up to the production? Because that's really the job of coaching, is to get the production to exceed the talent. If you add up the players on paper and you say, okay, how good should this team be as a team, the Steelers are probably right about where they belong. I picked them to go 9-8. The Vegas total was 8.5. They're probably slightly ahead of where they should be talent-wise as a team. But very specifically, when you look at the Steelers defense, I think it is fair to say that as of right now, 18 weeks in, they have underachieved. That defense that added Patrick Queen, that added Donte Jackson, added DeShon Elliott, got the best version of Cam Heyward we've seen in a while, and had a healthy TJ Watt and a healthy Minkah Fitzpatrick, and got worse. The Steelers defense gave up 347 points this year. They are 8th in the league in scoring defense. They've also, last year they gave up 5,800 yards. This year they gave up 5,500 yards. So they gave up fewer yards. But last year, and they have more turnovers. But like, the scoring is the big thing, and the scoring is not going the way you want it to. 34.6% of their defensive drives ended in a score this year compared to 32% last year. Not just the points, more scoring drives. This should have been the best defense in the league. On paper, it's the best defense in the league. It didn't turn out that way. And I think their schedule was probably like above average difficulty, but I don't think it was so tough that they can blame it on their strength of schedule. I really don't, especially when they played a lot of teams that ended up having, good years early, like the Chargers and the Falcons and the Broncos, when really they didn't look like the full versions of themselves. So, yeah. If you want to talk about coaching, to me, I think this is the place where it is the most fair to talk about what went wrong coaching-wise. The Steelers have elite personnel. That elite personnel was healthy. And They obviously improved their personnel from last year dramatically. The injury situation this year, after what happened last year, they missed 6 games of Alex Highsmith, 2 games of Donte Jackson, 2 games of DeShon Elliott, and 1 game of Joey Porter. The whole rest of the secondary was the whole rest of the team was healthy. They were not a banged up defense. They were not the battered unit just grasping at straws they were last year, and they got worse. They made obvious personnel improvements, and they got worse. Shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. This defense should have been a top 3 NFL defense. It had the potential to be a legendary defense. And I think this had the potential to be one of the best defenses in Steelers history. And they finished 8th. There's nothing wrong with finishing 8th. It's still the strength of the team. That was obviously on display in Week 17. And by the way, this take is not necessarily, like I said, Week 18. Week 18, not Week 17, last game. It's not germane to this week. I thought the defense played very well against Cincinnati. But when you go into the postseason and you say, what are this team's strengths? What does it have to hang its hat on? How are they going to go on the road and win some games in upset fashion like the 2005 Steelers team did? What was a wild card, went to the Super Bowl. How are they going to pull off a run like that? Where is the unit that they hang their hat on? I don't know if anybody's hanging their hat on this defense right now. I just don't. They have the ability to turn it around. But I think if you want to look at the area where the coaching staff has most obviously let the team down, I think it's on the defense. I understand everybody wants to hate the offensive coordinator. And don't get me wrong, I have plenty to nitpick about what Arthur Smith's done. I have plenty to nitpick about the offense in general. But the talent on offense was always suspect. This defense should have been top-notch, and it turned out to be still very good. I don't want to say they're a bad defense. They're not. But they're not a unit that is going to drag this offense kicking and screaming to playoff success. They're going to have to work together, and the Steelers have not done that in quite some time. So I've got for right now. More from Mike Tomlin on the South Side just after 12 o'clock, and then me, Smitty, afternoon drive at 6 here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. If you're listening somewhere else, leave us a review. Give us 5 stars. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you back here a little bit later. Till next time, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and enjoy.